dear learners, in previous lecture we have seen the introduction about the channa. What do you mean by the channa? Then we have also seen the two different definitions of the channa, how the channa is generally defined and how the channa is defined according to the PFA rules 1976. Then we have also seen the composition of channa, and also we have seen there are the three different methods by which the channa may be prepared. That is the number one, traditional method, second one is the improved method, and third one is the continuous method. And after this we have already seen in detail the how the channa is prepared by the traditional method. And now uh, the second method, that is the improved method. So let's see in detail the how the improved batch method works. So for this purpose, to understand this method, that is the improved batch method of channa making, uh, we have to understand these four important these 4 points, and which are very important points. The first one is the equipment which is used for the preparation of this channa. The second one is the conditions of the coagulation. Then the third one is the quality of milk, and the fourth one is the method of straining, how this channa is to be strained. So these are the four important points that we have to keep in our mind, these 4 points, and on the basis of these 4 points this improved method may be explained in detail very well. So let's see the number one point, that is the equipment. So for the preparation of this channa by this method, that is the improved method, the equipment plays very important role. So which equipment is used for the preparation of this channa? So stainless steel jacketed kettle is generally used for the preparation of channa, uh, in which the steam is used as a heating medium. So this steam is circulated in stainless steel jacketed kettle as a heating medium. Milk is taken into this jacketed kettle, and this milk is heated with the help of this steam. And in the same jacketed kettle, the stirring cum scraping is carried out, and that a stirring cum scraping process is generally carried out with the help of the khunti. Khunti is provided into this equipment, that is the jacketed kettle, in which the khunti is present, and with the help of this khunti the stirring cum scraping process is carried out. When the milk first time boils in the steel jacketed kettle, the heating should be stopped. It means the supply of steam should be stopped, and then whatever the condensate is formed in that steel jacketed kettle, that is to be removed. So after the removal of this condensate, the cold water is supplied. So cold water is supplied, and after this the coagulant, that is the citric acid or it may be the lactic acid, at the rate of 1% is to be added into this steel jacketed kettle, and then the final product, which is the channa, obtained after the straining this coagulated milk through the muslin cloth, the final product obtained, that is called as the channa. So this is the equipment, that is the stainless steel kettle, jacketed kettle, which is used for the preparation of this channa. Second point is, which is also very important one, that is the conditions of coagulation. Conditions of coagulation means uh, the the maintenance of the pH. How much pH is maintained during the coagulation, that is also very important one. How much temperature is maintained, that is also important one. And till what time this coagulation should be carried out, that is also very important one. Then the strength of acid, whether that is the 1%, 2%, 3% or 4%, or it is more than that. The what is the percent of the strength of the that acid is used, that is also very important one. Then the type of acid, which acid that we are using for this purpose, whether that is the lactic acid or whether that is the citric acid, that is also very important one. Then the speed of stirring, the speed of stirring also very important one, and it is said that the slow stirring should be followed, should be used, should be preferred. So these are the few important points. It means the conditions of the coagulations, that is very important one. And when we maintain the pH at the 5.4, temperature that is 82 degrees Celsius, and the time of coagulation that is just 0.5 to 1 minute. And then the strength of acid, the acid which we are using here, the lactic acid or citric acid, the strength should be 1 to 2%. If we are using more strength or acid that is more than 2%, then the final product will be a sour one. So to avoid this, we have to maintain the strength of acid up to 2% only. Then type of acid, whether you are using the lactic or citric acid, and the speed of stirring. If we are stirring the coagulum very fastly, then what will happen? The whatever the coagulum is formed, that will be break. So to avoid this, the slow stirring should be preferred. So these are the 5 important points of the condition coagulum, because all these 5 points directly affects on the body and texture of the final product, that is the channa. So we have to control all these 5 points, that is the pH, it should be maintained to the 5.4, then temperature it should be maintained at 2 degrees Celsius, and the coagulation time should not be more than 1 minute. The strength of acid should not be more than 2%. The type of acid, that is the lactic acid or citric acid. Then the speed of stirring, it should not be very fastly. So the slow stirring is generally preferred. So these are the 5 points which directly affects on the body and texture of the channa. Then the next point is the quality of milk. The many times in my lectures I have already explained that the quality of the final product is totally depends on the quality of the raw material which is used. So if we are using the superior quality of a raw material or the milk, then only we will get the final product with the superior quality. We are using the inferior quality milk and we are expecting that we will get the final product with the superior quality. No, it's not possible. So here we have to maintain, we have to take the superior quality milk only. So here these are the 5 different points that those points should be considered while preparation of the channa. Number 1 is the type of milk. Cow milk. If which type of milk that we are using for the preparation of channa, whether that is the cow milk or the buffalo milk. If we are using the cow milk, in that case the channa product, the body of channa will be a soft one, the texture will be a very smooth one. Whereas if we are using the buffalo milk, in that case the channa will be a very hard, its body will be hard, channa's body will be a very hard, it will be a greasy and will have a coarse texture. So generally the cow milk is generally preferred for the preparation of channa. So this is the type of the milk. Second one is the fat percentage. Cow milk. As I said earlier, the cow milk is generally preferred for the preparation of the channa. when we are using the cow milk, then the fat should be maintained at the 4%. And if we are using the buffalo milk, then the fat percent should be maintained at the 5%. If we are preferring the lower fat percentage, if we are using the milk with a low fat percentage, then what will happen? The channa will be a hard, the texture will be a coarse. And if we are using the more fat percentage milk, in that case the channa will be a greasy one. So for this purpose we have to standardize whether that is the cow milk or the buffalo milk at this fat percentage. That is, if we are using the cow milk, the fat percent should be standardized at 4%. If we are using the buffalo milk, then the fat percent should be maintained at standardized at the 5%. So this is the fat percentage. Then the acidity of milk, which is also very important one. So it is said that the milk should be a fresh only. If we are using the developed acid milk, in that case the channa will be a sour one and it will give a bitter taste. So to avoid this, we have to use the fresh milk for the preparation of channa. Otherwise, if we are using the acid developed milk, so that the channa will be a sour one and its taste will be a bitter one. So to avoid this, the solution is that we have to use the fresh milk for the preparation of channa. Then the adulteration of milk. If milk is adulterated and it is adulterated with the starch, then the coagulum, the starch results in the gelatinous mass on the coagulation. At the time of the coagulation, the starch results in the gelatinous. So the adulterated milk should not be used for the preparation of the channa. And then the presence of colostrum. If the milk is having the colostrum, it produces the pasty texture. So to avoid that, the colostrum free milk should be used for the preparation of channa. The milk which contains the colostrum should not be used for the preparation of the channa. Let's see about the straining. First of all, we have to know the definition of the straining. What do you mean by the straining? Straining is nothing but as in previous part we have seen the coagulation of the milk. When the coagulation milk is completed, the final step is the straining. Straining is nothing but whatever the milk is coagulated and it forms a coagulum mass, then this same coagulum mass is gathered in a muslin cloth, then it is tied and hung up, and then the whey is allowed to drain from that muslin cloth, and this process is called as the straining. Straining is nothing but it is one type of the filtration through which the maximum whey is drained out. So this is the straining. Then the straining is generally carried out by two ways, that is the immediate straining and second one is the delayed straining. As the name itself indicates, the meaning of the immediate straining means as soon as the coagulum is formed, this coagulum mass is collected, is gathered in a muslin cloth, and then it is hung up to allow, and it is and the whey is allowed to drain from that muslin cloth, and this process is followed immediately. Therefore, it is called as the immediate straining. Whereas second one is the delayed straining. In this method also the same process is followed as followed in the immediate straining, but in delayed straining the coagulum mass is generally kept for more time as compared to the immediate straining, and therefore it is called as the delayed straining. It means lately the coagulum is removed from that muslin cloth, and therefore it is called as the delayed staining. Now, what happens to the delayed staining? If we follow the delayed staining, in that case the channa will have the more moisture content as compared to the immediate staining method. So these are the two different methods which are used for the staining of the channa, and then the final product which is obtained in that muslin cloth, that the product is called as the channa. So in this way, by the improved method, channa is prepared. So we have to keep in our mind the four important points for the final examination. That is the first point was equipment, which equipment is used for the preparation of channa. Then we have seen the stainless steel jacketed kettles used is the equipment which is used for the preparation of channa. Then the conditions of the coagulation, then quality of the milk. These are the conditions of the coagulation, means we have to maintain the pH at 5.4, then we have to maintain the temperature at 82 degrees Celsius, and then we have to coagulate this milk up to just 1 minute. Then the strength of acid, which is also very important, that is we have to maintain the strength of acid not more than the 2%. Then type of acid, whether which acid we are using, that is the lactic acid, or it may be lacetic acid. And then the speed of stirring, which should not be more, the slow stirring should be used. Then the quality of milk, in the quality of milk we have seen the type of milk, which milk we are using. Generally the cow milk is preferred for the preparation of the channa. Then fat percentage, it should be maintained at 4%. Buffalo milk, if we are using buffalo milk, then fat percent should not be more than the 5%. Acidity, the fresh milk only used for the preparation of channa. Then adulteration of milk, the adulterated milk should not be used for the preparation of channa. And the presence of cholesterol, if the milk is having the cholesterol, that milk should not be used for the preparation of channa. So these points should be considered while preparation of the channa. So quality of milk is also very important one, because it directly affects on the final quality of product, that is the channa. So to obtain the superior quality of channa, we have to use the superior quality of milk only. Then the last point that we have seen, the staining is of two types, that is the immediate staining and delayed staining. Staining is nothing but it is the process of removing the maximum weight from that coagulum, that is called as the staining. So this is all about the improved method. So we have to keep in mind our 4 points for this product and for this method, that is the improved method. So thank you very much.